Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. In today's video, we are actually diving into an AI chat application note-taking app. This is one of the applications with the philosophy of take a lot of notes, put everything inside of the application, and use chat to both resurface thing, but also to discuss the things you actually have been saving, writing, and just putting into the application. The app is called Me.bot, and it is a little different from the other ones I have tested out because even though this chat application doesn't feel like the chat AI chat isn't perfect, it is much better than many of the others I have actually tested out. It feels more like a personal assistant, more, some would say, more human like. I'm going to go over some of the features and then give you my thoughts in the end. I have done a tutorial video on this before, so I won't do that now. I actually paid for the pro plan for this. So here you can see I've added some things inside of here, but you can see up here I'm actually currently working on 2 website rebuilds and side hustle. So um, it just writes that down there, and I can open the chat and I can start to discuss, and it also shows that related memory, and the related memory is actually a chat. So I can go ahead and just write something here. So I have had a long day, for example, had a long day. If you're new to the channel, spelling is an issue I often have. As you can see, it starts to save the chat here, which means that everything you actually discuss with the chat gets saved in here, which is something I really like. Here you can see it answers, and I can continue this conversation. It is the projects I'm working on. I am working on like this. And you can see that it should be able to at some point figure out which projects I am talking about. So here you can see that it has 4 related memories. It knows where I work. Um, it actually does a good job. I can choose to convert something into a memory. This isn't necessarily something I would do when I am just talking about my emotions. In here, I would probably do it if I'm discussing a project and I just want to turn that into a note. I can do that as well. Like I can do it with this one, so I can convert this to a memory. And this turns the whole chat into a memory. Here I am discussing like my perfect AI assistant. And you can also ask this chat right here. Here you can see it pops up, but you can also ask the chat to help you remember things. That hasn't been perfect. I've had a few issues with that, but it has worked sometimes. So here you can see that it turns this into a note. And I can click on this note and I can see something called connect the dots. This is where the AI chat comes in. And it gives me some thoughts, and I can continue the conversation to go even deeper. So I think this is really, really fascinating. We can go back home, but before we do that, I just wanted to quickly show you that it resurfaces a lot of the related memories. Um, so it does that. Now it seems like the app isn't working, so let me try to reload. I'm guessing it's my internet again. I can confirm that it was my internet again, but now we're back home. Here you have like a timeline view of everything, and you can see these 6 unreads here. These are actually the me bot asking me questions. So I can click on this, for example. So here it actually brings this up based on things I've searched previously. Or added previously. So I added this right here, this video, and it gives me some highlights based on the discussion I've had and just about me. Like you're on a journey to enhance design skills, and this conversation is a treasure trove of insights, and it gives me some of the insights here. You can see it basically summarizes the YouTube video. It also has this connect the dots, one related memory, so it relates back memories together. But I think the AI chat works really, really well. That is probably the thing I like. You can see that I can have to-dos here, and I have paid my rent. There is also something called a library right here. So the app actually automatically organizes things. So here you can see moments in lives, art and design, tech, business, self-growth, to-dos, recordings, memos, images, links, docs, and chats. And I can go into each one of these. So let's open up the tech one, for example. And here you can see everything I have saved around tech, and I can go back and I can do the same for like to-dos, for self-growth, for moments. There is people here, so as you mention people, it will figure out who those people are, and they will be added here. Objects as well, so here you can, for example, see Tana, and you can see because I've connected my X profile. I finally called it X and not Twitter. So I've connected that, and a lot of the things I have inside of the application is actually from X, and you can connect things like Notion and Evernote as well. So here, based on like my tweets, it starts talking about Tana and how I have felt with Tana. All of this like isn't true, because the issue with these AI applications, which I will come a little bit back to later, is that your information needs to be up to date. Um, but I, in general, really like how the application works. There are still some issues that you will encounter, but in general, I think the application does a good job. It also works with images. That was the wrong way of doing it. So I can do images. I can save and add an image from here. I can write something about that. I won't do that. You probably should if you are going to use the application, but I won't do it. It generates insights for me. This backlinking podcast episode is actually coming quite soon. So it actually understands some of it. It gives me some insights uh, right here, and you can see that it is based off the things I've talked with the AI about previously. As you can see here, like communication and design and PKM systems. This isn't something every AI or every application would know about me. So, what are my thoughts on an application like this? I think it has improved significantly since the first time I tested it out. I think it is much better than it was previously. It sits like in the blend of these AI companion applications and a productivity tool, which I think is the perfect blend for an application like this. So if you have seen things like, I think one of them is it called Reflect? I think it's called Reflect. Replica, actually. It's called Replica, something like Replica or something like Tana. It sits like in between those two tools, which I think is a really interesting place. There are a couple of issues I have with this for productivity. So first of all, there are still some small bugs, things not going exactly how you expect them to. Like I tried setting up a reminder, I had to do that many times. But that is something I expect from an application that is still in development with like fairly new technology and new ways of doing things. So that isn't my biggest issue. Where I have an issue though is that in order for this to work, because I've tested this out now for uh, a week or so, I think, 5, 6 days. And for this to work, your information always needs to be updated. Like whenever information comes in to you, because you can't connect things like Google Docs, for example, at least not yet. When information comes to you, you will have to put that inside of the application quite quickly for this to work. And the same goes for like different project management tools, like something in your project might change. You have to add that to the AI. So I have an issue with that, but that isn't a Me.bot problem. I think Me.bot does things quite well. If you're looking for a blend between a productivity tool and more of a companion app, I think this is a great tool. Where I think it has, uh, or where I think the issues are, is in this whole genre of note-taking apps and productivity tools in general, which I think they are trying to figure out as we go. I talk more about that in that podcast episode with about Raycast. But basically, I think it is a super exciting application. I think it does things quite well. I do not think of this as like the best productivity tool, but I think of it as a great tool if you want an AI to discuss things with, and also want sort of a productivity tool, if that makes sense. But that covers it for today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching today's video.